What was your first thought this morning?
Toilet. What a question. What a speed.
Hi, this is Alex. I'm here with Gray Area at Ultra Music Festival with the man, the myth, the legend, Claptone.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time out. How has your week been? You've had like a very interesting week.
Busy. Yeah, very busy. So I've been playing the SLS for the Masquerade party, which I brought to Miami. That was on Wednesday, I think. No, Thursday, right? That was amazing. I had Fatboy Slim, James Hype, Ferry Dawn, and LP Jobby. So I had like an amazing lineup.
So crazy. Yeah, it's great.
And then I had to fly to Colombia to play a stereo picnic.
Wow.
Well, unfortunately, the Foo Fighters drummer died. So that was very sad.
Yeah.
Yesterday I've been in Puerto Rico, San Juan. That was much more positive.
Yeah.
Even though I have to say the gig was great in Stereo Picnic. Really big festival, great festival, well organized. So that was cool. And this morning, I flew out here again to come back.
How does it feel to be back in Miami? I mean, this is the first Miami Music Week in 2 years. What's brought you the most joy about being back in Miami after so long?
Oh, I mean, like, it's just amazing because this is one of the most important festivals on this planet. It's amazing that this is back. So many people have been waiting for it, and everybody's super excited for it. Rightfully so. We waited too long, 2 years.
Yeah, the energy out there this weekend's been insane. You're doing a back-to-back with Vintage Culture. That's super cool. You actually answered some questions for us at Festival Insider about it. I want to know what's the best part about performing with another artist.
Well, I think the best part is that, you communicate with each other on a musical level. So you play ball, basically, so if one of the DJs plays that, the other plays that, and then kind of develops in a certain different direction than it would as compared to when you play alone, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. Was there any communication beforehand about what you're going to play, or are you just going to wing it?
No, obviously, because it's 1 hour and it's not so much time when we try to squeeze as much into this 1 hour as possible. You do special edits, you do special remixes, mixes, and you squeeze it all together. And I think we have 23 tracks or something in 60 minutes, which for house music.
That's pretty fast.
A lot.
Yeah. I want to talk about the mysticism within the orbit of your persona. What kind of magic do you feel when you're playing in front of a crowd versus the kind of magic that you feel in the studio?
It's hard to compare both of those. Playing in the studio, I guess it's also more of a monologue, because you play with your ideas, you figure stuff out, you try to find yourself. It comes from within, and you just try to find a manifestation in sound of your thoughts and your emotions. And when you play for the people, it's more of a communication as well already, because you see the reaction to certain tracks and you think about, maybe I skip this one and I play this one. I go more like that. And also, obviously, the energy that comes from a live crowd there's just no such energy in the studio. Everything comes from your heart in the studio. It's more like a meditation. You get lost like for 7 hours in your own thoughts and ideas of music. Whereas on a show like this, you just get carried away with the people, not so much meditating, but like cheering each other up.
Yeah, it's a monologue versus like a monologue with yourself versus a dialogue with the audience.
Exactly, with 10,000s of people. Yeah.
Beautiful. There's been a lot of talk lately in house music about 90s music being rehashed in dance music again. And let's be honest, like, it's always been a part of dance music. Sampling's always been a part of it. You do it a lot too. But I kind of want to understand, like, where do you draw the line between like copying and creativity?
No, I wouldn't even. Yeah, no, but I draw a line, but it's like it as you rightfully said. So it's always been a part of house music. I mean, house music was eclectic in the beginning. There was no such thing as house music before house music. So house music came from a place, and it was a vibe, and it was combined different musical styles. And I still feel, when I play, I combine different musical styles, and that's my idea of house music. Still very eclectic, Of course, bring it together under the 4/4 umbrella, and having this certain groove to it. But that for me is house music. And whenever these themes come up, like, oh, is this just a second revival of the 90s or of the 80s or whatever? And is this the real electro, or has there been an earlier electro, and why are they so different? It's not, to me, it's not interesting. I mean, it's always about you should understand the history of the music, and then you should, feel it out and see how do you want to produce your music on basis of that history.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with that rich history that is basically at your feet? And you can take whatever. There is no real rules, unless obviously you'd want to release every track that you make. But just for fun, you can do anything, and you should.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yeah. Amen to that. It's all about experimentation. Like, exactly. That's how you find the best things.
Yeah.
So before we're going to do a speed round after this next question, and we're going to do some real quick questions, but I'm going to ask you one more question before that. What's the strangest thing you've ever brought to the club or seen someone bring to the club?
Well, I think that was in the age of when you played with CDs. Yeah. I came with a plastic bag, and I told the bouncer that I'm the DJ with the plastic bag from the supermarket next door. And they let me in. They believe everything. Those bouncers nowadays.
He had a plastic. I love that. All right, are you ready for a speed round?
Sure.
All right, let's go. What was your first thought this morning?
Toilet. What a question. What is speed?
Miami in 3 words.
Are you allowed to swear on this?
Oh, yeah. Say whatever you want. Miami in 3 words.
Water, beautiful girls, music.
Would you rather never hear your favorite song again or be forced to play your least favorite song in every set you play forever?
Not hear my favorite song again.
All right. Would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
Only be able to shout.
Favorite food to eat in Miami?
Or seafood.
Ah, very good choice. Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
Yes. If I looked at your recently played tunes on Spotify, what would you want to hide?
All the 80s music.
Would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song that you hear?
Dance.
Yes. What sound or noise do you love?
All of them.
If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
There's just one choice in my life. I can only be a musician. So.
That's the perfect answer. Favorite old school house song?
Jack Your Body.
Yes. If you could pick any era of history to live in, when would you pick? Now. Dream collaboration? Anybody, anytime in history?
Elvis Presley.
Yes. And finish this sentence. House music is?
State of mind.
Yes. Very good. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Have a great set.
Thank you.